Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2024 election night. And this will be covering the presidential race, the Senate races, the gubernatorial races, and the House of Representatives races. We'll start off with favorability polls. Kamala Harris is favored with 48%, and Donald Trump is favored with 47%. Taking a look at Harris versus Trump on the national polls, Harris is up ahead by 0.5%, obtaining 48.4% of the vote, while Donald Trump is having 47.9%. We look at the preferred party in Congress. Democrats are up by 1 percentage point, where 49% of voters want Democrats in Congress and 48% want Republicans. Taking a look at polling in key swing states on the presidential level, Trump is up in Arizona by 2.4 percentage points, and in Georgia he's up ahead by 2.2. In Michigan, Harris is edging Trump by 0.3 percentage, and in the state of Nevada, Donald Trump is ahead by 0.2. In Pennsylvania, it's a really close one, with Trump being up by 0.1. In the state of Wisconsin, Harris is up by 0.1. So this is the electoral map. You need at least 270 electoral votes to win, and then you need at least 51 seats to have a Senate majority for either side. Or if it's 50-50, the vice president will break the tie. And then 218 House seats at least is needed to have a majority. And there's 11 gubernatorial seats up for re-election in these key states that are colored in dark gray. Alright, we're going to start with our 7 p.m. Eastern Time poll closing. It'll be in part of Florida, and then the full states is Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, South Carolina, Vermont, Virginia. We can now project the state of Virginia, 13 electoral votes, too early to call. And Virginia's Senate race between Tim Kaine and Hung Kao is too early to call. And looking at some House races, we have District 2, which will be pretty competitive. The other races have been called successfully, and District 7, this one will also be competitive, while these other ones have already been called. And the same goes for District 9 through 11. And in the state of South Carolina, 9 electoral votes, too early to call. And the House of Representatives of South Carolina, all of these races have been called to the incumbent candidates. And the state of Georgia, 16 electoral votes, too early to call. And looking at the House of Representatives, all of these parties have won their election. You can project that. All these districts, District 9 all the way through 14. And in the state of Florida, this is 30 electoral votes. It's too early to call as of now. And if we look at the Senate race in Florida, this was also too early to call. Looking at some House races in Florida, the first 4 have already been called. And the same goes through 5 through 8. And District 9 is still too early to call. We should have results fairly soon. Same for District 13. The rest of them have been called already. And then these have been called already. District 23 here, too early to call, while the rest of these have already been called. District 25 through 28, these have already been called. And we can project in the state of Indiana, 11 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump. No surprise here. And for the Senate race in Indiana, Jim Banks will win his seat as well. No surprise here. And for Indiana's gubernatorial race, Mike Braun will win. No surprise here. And if we look at the House of Representatives in Indiana, the first district is too early to call, while districts 2 through 4 have already been called. And districts 5 through 8 have already been called. So is District 9 already been called. We look at Kentucky, 8 electoral votes to Donald Trump. No surprise here. Look at House races in Kentucky. All of these have been called. We still have these already been called to their candidates. We look at Vermont, 3 electoral votes goes to Kamala Harris. No surprise here. And the Senate, Bernie Sanders, he would easily win his seat. No surprise here. Looking at the House of Representatives, Becca Ballant, she will win her seat here. And looking at Vermont, the gubernatorial race, Phil Scott, he's able to easily win, no surprise here. Taking a look at the updated map, Donald Trump has 19 electoral votes as of now, while Kamala Harris is at 3. Taking a look at Senate races, Republicans have 39 seats, while Democrats have 29 seats. Take a look at the House of Representatives. Republicans are up with 50 seats, while Democrats are at 20. Taking a look at the gubernatorial races, 2 of them have been called for the Republicans. Now we have our 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time poll closings. This will take place in North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia. In the state of North Carolina, 16 electoral votes. This is a critical state for either side, whether Harris wants to win it or Trump wants to win it. As of now, this is too early to call. This is definitely one we want to keep our eyes on throughout the night. And North Carolina's gubernatorial race between Josh Stein and Mark Robinson, this one is still too early to call. And if we look at House races, District 1, this will be a very competitive one. We're definitely going to keep our eyes out for that. All districts 2 through 4 have been called. So have 5 through 8. These have already been called for these candidates. And so is District 9 through 12, and then 13 and 14. All of these races have been called to the candidates. Look at the state of Ohio. Too early to call, 17 electoral votes. While the Senate here, Ohio Senate, this is too early to call. This one's a key race for tonight, whether each side wants a majority in the Senate. Looking at these House races here, District 1 is currently too early to call, while these other ones have been called. And then Districts 5 through 8 have been called the way they are. District 9, this one's also too early to call. We should hopefully get some results for that one soon. And same for District 13, still too early to call here. District 14 and 15 have already been called. Taking a look at West Virginia, 4 electoral votes goes to Donald Trump, no surprise here. And West Virginia Senate, Jim Justice, he's able to easily flip this seat from the Democrats, no surprise here. And the gubernatorial race, Patrick Morrisey, he's going to win his seat, no surprise here. Taking a look at these House races, they both go to Republicans, no surprise here. Taking a look at the updated map, Republicans are now at 23 electoral votes, while Democrats are still at 3. Now take a look here at the Senate seats. West Virginia has flipped towards the Republicans. Now Republicans are at 40 seats, while Democrats are still at 29. Taking a look at the House seats, Republicans have gone up to 72 seats, while Democrats are at 25 seats. 11 seats up for re-election. Republicans now are at 3 governor seats here. Now we'll have our 8 p.m. Eastern Time poll closings. This will take place in all Alabama, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Illinois, and then parts of Kansas, and then Maine, and then Maryland, Massachusetts, parts of Michigan, then Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, New Jersey, and then parts of North Dakota, then Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, parts of South Dakota, Tennessee, and then some parts of Texas, and then Washington, D.C. Taking a look at Florida, this is an updated race. Donald Trump is currently up ahead by 1.2%, but keep in mind it's still too early to call with 7% of the vote in. And for the Senate race in Florida, currently Rick Scott is trailing his opponent of McCarcel Powell. She's currently leading him by 0.5 of a percentage point. Keep in mind this is still too early to call. Take a look at some Florida House races, key races. Democrats are currently in the lead in all 3 of them, but they're still too early to call. You can make projection in the state of Illinois, 19 electoral votes. Too early to call as of now. And if we look at House races here, the first 4 have been called for the Democrats, and so is 5 through 8. These have been called for the Democrats. And then districts 9 through 12. 9 through 11 have been called for Democrats, while the 12th one's for the Republican. And then 13 and 14 go towards the Democrats, while 15 and 16 are uncontested for the Republicans. District 17, this is the only one that's a little competitive. It's still too early to call right now. Take a look at the state of Kansas, 6 electoral votes, too early to call. And the state of Maine, 4 electoral votes, too early to call. We can now project the state of Maine. Angus King, he will win his seat. He's an independent that caucuses with the Democrats, so that's an extra seat for the Democrats. Take a look at House races. The 1st district has already been called for Shelley Pingree, while the 2nd district, this will be a very competitive one and one to watch out for tonight. We'll see if it flips or not, but it's too early to call. The state of Michigan, 15 electoral votes. This is also a key battleground state to watch out for, too early to call. And the Senate race in Michigan, too early to call. This is also a key race here. Take a look at Mississippi, 6 electoral votes as announced, too early to call. And the Senate race in Mississippi, too early to call. Look at House races here. Districts 1, 3, and 4 goes towards the Republican, while District 2 goes towards Benny Thompson, the Democrat. Take a look at Missouri, 10 electoral votes, too early to call. And the Senate race in Missouri is also too early to call. Look at the gubernatorial race in Missouri, still too early to call, right at 0% in. Looking at some House races here, the 1st district goes towards Wesley Bell, Democrat. And then the rest of these seats go towards the Republicans. And then District 5, the Democrats able to win there, while the rest of these seats goes towards the Republicans. Taking a look at New Hampshire, 4 electoral votes, too early to call as of now. And a key gubernatorial race to watch out for tonight. New Hampshire, Kelly Ayotte versus Joyce Craig. This one is too early to call. And looking at the House of Representatives, the 2nd district has been called for Maggie Goodlander, while the 1st district as of now is too early to call. Taking a look at New Jersey, 14 electoral votes, too early to call. And the Senate race in New Jersey is also too early to call. Looking at some House races here, the 1st, 3rd have gone towards the Democrats, while the 2nd and the 4th go towards Republicans. And the 7th district here is too early to call. It's one to watch out for, while District 5, 6, and 8 go towards Democrats. And then 9 through 12, these districts go towards the Democrats as well. Taking a look at the state of Pennsylvania, this is a key battleground state for either candidate. 19 electoral votes. That would be a huge win for whichever candidate gets Pennsylvania. It's too early to call. This one we will definitely keep our eyes out on tonight. And a Senate race in Pennsylvania. This one's also a key race here. Too early to call. Taking a look at some House races here. District 1 goes towards the Republican, while District 2 through 4 go towards the Democrats. District 5 and 6 go towards the Democrats as well, while District 7 and 8 are too early to call. District 7 is one to keep our eyes out on. District 8 is pretty important too. District 9, 11 go towards the Republicans, while District 10, as of now, too early to call. And then District 12 goes towards Summerlee, the Democrat. District 13 through 16 have been called for Republicans here, and District 17 as of now, too early to call. Take a look at Texas, 40 electoral votes, too early to call. And we have a key Senate race here in Texas, too early to call. Now taking a look at the House of Representatives here, the first 4 districts have been called for Republicans, and District 5, 6, and 8 go towards Republicans as well, while Democrats take the 7th district. District 9, that one goes towards the Democrats. It's an uncontested race, and so is District 11, that goes towards Republicans, uncontested, and 10 and 12, these districts go towards Republicans. And District 13, another uncontested race, goes towards Republicans, and so does District 14. District 16 goes towards Democrats, and District 15, as of now, too early to call. District 17 and District 19 goes towards Republicans, while Democrats receive District 18 and District 20. District 21 through 24 have been called for the Republicans as of now. And District 25, 26, and 27, these have been called for Republicans, while Democrats get 28. And then District 29, 30, and 32, these districts have been called for Democrats, while the 31st district goes towards Republicans. District 33, Democrats win 33 and 35, while Republicans win District 36. District 34, as of now, too early to call. District 37 goes towards the Democrats, while District 38 goes towards the Republicans. Taking a look at the state of Alabama, 9 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump, no surprise here. Looking at some House races here. First 1, 3, and 4, they go towards Republicans, while the 2nd district goes towards Democrats. And District 5 and 6 goes to Republicans, while the 7th district goes towards Democrats. And we can project the state of Connecticut, 7 electoral votes goes to Kamala Harris, no surprise here. And also the Senate, Chris Murphy, he will hold his seat here as well, no surprise here. And state of Connecticut, looking at the House races, District 1 through 4 easily go towards the Democrats, while District 5, too early to call. This will be a close race tonight. We'll keep our eyes out on that. State of Delaware, 3 electoral votes, Kamala Harris, no surprise here. And the Senate, Liza Blunt Rochester, she will win her seat here, no surprise here. And also the House of Representatives here, Sarah McBride, she will win her seat here, no surprise here. And the gubernatorial race here in Delaware, Matt Meyer, he's projected to win here. And the state of Maryland, 10 electoral votes, we project Kamala Harris to win, no surprise here. And the Senate race here, as of now, is too early to call. And if we look at House races here in Maryland, the 1st district has been called for Republicans, while District 2 through 4 go towards Democrats, and so do the last 4 districts, 5 through 8. These we can project go towards the Democrats. And we can now project the state of Massachusetts goes towards Kamala Harris, no surprise here. And the state of Massachusetts, their Senate race, Elizabeth Warren, she will win her seat here, no surprise here. And all the House races in the state of Massachusetts go towards the Democrats. And all these 3 do as well. And North Dakota, we can project 3 electoral votes, goes towards Donald Trump, no surprise here. If we look at the Senate race in North Dakota, Kevin Cramer, he will win his seat, no surprise here. And the House of Representatives, Julie Fedorchak, she will win her seat here, no surprise here. And the gubernatorial race in North Dakota, Kelly Armstrong, he will win his seat, no surprise here. And we can project Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes, goes towards Donald Trump, no surprise here. Taking a look at the House races in Oklahoma, District 1 through 4, they go easily towards the Republicans, and so does District 5, no surprise here. And we can project the state of Rhode Island, 4 electoral votes, goes towards Kamala Harris, no surprise here. And the Senate race here, Sheldon Whitehouse, he will hold his seat. Looking at both House races in Rhode Island, they both go towards the Democrats. And we can project South Dakota, 3 electoral votes towards Donald Trump. And then we can now project the House of Representatives in South Dakota. This one goes to Dusty Johnson. He will win his seat. And Tennessee, 11 electoral votes. We can project Donald Trump to win this. And we can project the Senate race. Marsha Blackburn, she will win her seat here as well. Taking a look at the House of Representatives, District 1 through 4 easily go towards the Republicans. And District 5 through 8 we can project go towards Republicans as well. While the 9th District, this is the only one in Tennessee that goes towards the Democrats. We can project Washington, D.C., 3 electoral votes towards Kamala Harris, no surprise here. And also the state of South Carolina, now we can project goes towards Donald Trump. He will win this state by 13.4 percentage points, with 34% of the results in. And the key race in Indiana, District 1, goes towards Frank G. Marvin, the Democrat. We can project that at 59% in. Taking a look at the updated map here, we Republicans currently have 65 electoral votes, while Democrats are at 41 electoral votes. We have Donald Trump currently leading in Florida, while these other states marked in white have not been projected yet. And taking a look at Senate races, McCarcel Powell is currently leading in the state of Florida as of now, very narrowly, while these other races have not been called yet. And taking a look at the House races, Republicans are at 138 seats, while Democrats are at 97 seats. And then Democrats receive one gubernatorial seat from Delaware, while Republicans are at 4. Now we have an 8:30 p.m. poll closing from Arkansas. We can project Arkansas, 6 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump, no surprise here. We take a look at House races here, the first 4 go towards Republicans here. And Virginia, state of Virginia, an update at that, Donald Trump is currently leading with 53.4% of the vote, while Kamala Harris is at 46.2%. 39% of the estimated vote is in, it's still too early to call. In the Senate race here, Hung Cao is currently leading against Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine is currently trailing Hung Cao by 3.5 percentage points, with 39% of the vote in. Too early to call as of now. Taking a look at some key races in Virginia. District 2, Jen Kiggins is currently leading right now, while in District 7, Eugene Vindman is currently in the lead here. These are still too early to call as of now. In the state of Georgia, taking a look at that, updated, Kamala Harris is currently leading by a pretty wide margin here. 34% of the vote in, still too early to call. And the state of North Carolina, taking a look at that, Harris has a big lead here as of now, still too early to call with 21% of the estimated vote in. And Josh Stein in North Carolina is leading by an even wider margin than Harris is here, so this one is still too early to call. And District 1, the only competitive one in North Carolina, Don Davis is currently in the lead by a pretty wide margin. 34% of the vote is in here, too early to call. In the state of Ohio, 17 electoral votes, too early to call still. With Donald Trump in the lead as of now, 56% of the vote is in, still too early to call. And the state of Ohio, Sherrod Brown, he's in the lead here. Moreno's trailing the incumbent as of now, 56% of the vote in, but keep in mind, still too early to call. And the House of Representatives here, District 1, 9, and 13 can be called for the Democrats as of now. And the state of Texas, taking a look at that, the early vote, 12% in, Harris is currently leading in this state. And state of Texas, the Senate race here, Con Allred is leading by a little bit of a wider margin than Harris was. Still too early to call. And the House of Representatives here, these 2 races are still too early to call, with the Democrats leading in both of them. Taking a look at the updated map here, Republicans have 71 electoral votes, while Democrats are at 41. As we can see here, in the state of Florida, Virginia, and Ohio, Donald Trump is currently leading in those states, while in Texas, Georgia, and North Carolina, Kamala Harris is leading these states. And taking a look at the Senate map, Republicans at 42 seats, while Democrats are at 34. Right now, Hung Cao is still in the lead in Virginia, while Sherrod Brown is leading in Ohio, and Con Allred is leading in Texas, and McCarcel Powell, she is leading in the state of Florida as of now still. And looking at the House of Representatives map, Republicans have 142 seats, while Democrats have gone up to 100 seats. And the gubernatorial races have not changed as of now yet, except Josh Stein is leading in North Carolina. Now we have our 9 p.m. poll closings here in a bunch of states. This will include Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, Mexico, New York, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. We can project Arizona as of now. 11 electoral votes. This is a key battleground state to watch out for. Too early to call. And we have a Senate race here in Arizona. This one's a pretty key race here. We can look Ruben Gallego versus Kerry Lake. Too early to call. And looking at the House of Representatives here, the first district is too early to call, while the second one goes towards Republicans, and the third and fourth one go towards Democrats. The 5th district here goes towards Andy Biggs, the Republican, and the 6th district is too early to call. District 7 goes towards the Democrat, and District 8 goes towards the Republican. And so does District 9, goes towards Republicans. And the state of Colorado, 10 electoral votes, too early to call. Looking at some House races in Colorado, first 2 goes towards Democrats, while the 4th one goes towards the Republicans. The 3rd district as of now, too early to call. 5th district here goes towards Republicans, while 6 and 7 go towards Democrats. The 8th district is also too early to call. And in the state of Iowa, 6 electoral votes as of now, this is too early to call. Looking at some House races here, the 1st and 3rd district are too early to call, while the 2nd and 4th one we can project go towards the Republicans. State of Kansas, taking a look at the updated vote here, Donald Trump is currently leading by a few percentage points. It's still too early to call with only 8% of the vote in. And if we look at the House of Representatives races here, we can project that 1, 2, and 4 go towards Republicans, while the 3rd district goes towards the Democrats. And the state of Michigan, taking a look at that, with 3% of the vote in. Trump is currently leading by a wide margin here, but it is still way too early to call. And Mike Rogers, he's also leading against the opponent, Lisa Slotkin here. Still too early to call with only 3% of the vote in. And the House of Representatives here, we can project District 1 and 2 go towards Republicans, and so does District 4, while District 3 goes towards the Democrats. District 5 goes towards Republicans, while District 6 goes towards Democrats. District 7 and 8, as of now, is too early to call. We'll be watching out on District 7. That one will be a key race here. And District 9 goes towards the Republicans, while 11 and 12 go towards Democrats. District 10, as of now, is too early to call. And District 13 here goes towards the Democrats here. You can project it for them. And the state of Minnesota, 10 electoral votes, too early to call. We can now project the state of Minnesota. The Senate race goes towards Amy Klobuchar, no surprise here. And taking a look at some House races in Minnesota, the 1st district goes towards Republicans, while the 2nd one, as of now, too early to call. Districts 3 and 4 goes towards the Democrats, while District 5 also goes towards the Democrats, while 6 through 8, these are called for the Republicans. In the state of New Mexico, 5 electoral votes, too early to call as of now. And if we look at the Senate race here in New Mexico, still too early to call. And the House of Representatives, District 1 and 3 easily go towards the Democrats, while District 2, this one will be one to watch out for, it's too early to call as of now. And taking a look, New York, 28 electoral votes, it is too early to call as of now. And the Senate race in New York, too early to call. Taking a look at some House races here, District 1 and 2 goes towards the Republicans, while District 3 and 4, these are too early to call as of now. We will be watching out for those. And District 5 through 8 easily go towards the Democrats, no surprise here. District 9, 10, and 12, these we can project go towards the Democrats, while we project District 11 go towards the Republicans. District 13 through 16 we project go towards the Democrats. And District 20 here goes towards Democrats, while 17, 18, and 19, all 3 of these are too early to call. We'll definitely be looking out for these key races in New York. This could help determine whether the Democrats or Republicans have a majority in the House. And District 21, 23, 24 go towards the Republicans, while District 22 is too early to call. And the last 2 districts here, 25 and 26, go towards the Democrats here. And the state of Wisconsin, this is also a key battleground state to be looking out for. 10 electoral votes, too early to call. And the Senate race in Wisconsin, this is too early to call. Look at the House of Representatives here. District 1 goes towards the Republicans, while District 2 and 4 goes towards the Democrats, and District 3, too early to call. Taking a look at District 5 through 8, these are projected to go towards the Republicans. In the state of New Hampshire, taking a look at the update here, Harris is leading Trump by a pretty wide margin here with 37% of the estimated voting, still too early to call. Taking a look at the gubernatorial race here, currently Craig is leading Ayade by a pretty narrow margin, but it's not so narrow, but still too early to call. And District 1 in New Hampshire, we can project goes towards Chris Pappas, 48% of the estimated vote here. And then the state of Louisiana, 8 electoral votes we can project goes towards Donald Trump. No surprise here. Taking a look at the House of Representatives here. District 1, 3, and 4, they go towards Republicans, while District 2 goes to the Democrats. District 5 goes towards Republicans, while District 6 goes towards Cleo Fields, the Democrat. And we can project in Nebraska, 4 out of the 5 electoral votes go towards Donald Trump, while the 2nd district here is still too early to call. And Nebraska's Special Senate, Pete Ricketts, he will win his seat here. No surprise here. And we have the regular Senate race in Nebraska. This one with the independent Dan Osborne versus Deb Fisher. This one will be a pretty competitive race here to watch out for. It is too early to call. And the House of Representatives here, the 1st and 3rd district easily go towards Republicans, while the 2nd district is one to look out for. Don Bacon versus Tony Vargas. We will see how this race goes tonight, but as of now, too early to call. And we can project Wyoming, 3 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump. No surprise here. And the Senate race in Wyoming, John Barrasso, he will win his seat. No surprise here. And the House of Representatives here goes towards Harriet Hagman. No surprise here. And Mississippi, we can now project 6 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump. He will win by a margin of 17.1 percentage points with 24% of the estimated vote in. This will give him 6 electoral votes towards his column. And we can project the Senate race here. Roger Wicker, he's able to win here. He will win by a little bit of a larger margin by 19.5 percentage points, 24% of the estimated vote in. And we can project Missouri, 10 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump. And he will win by a margin of 16.5 percentage points with 36% of the estimated vote in. And we can project the Senate race. Josh Hawley, he will win his seat here. He will win by close to 13 percentage points here, a little bit narrower than Trump's margin, but still a pretty good win for him. And the gubernatorial race, Mike Cahill, he will win his seat here. He will win by a margin of 13.5 percentage points here. And the state of Florida, 30 electoral votes. This is a huge electoral prize for Donald Trump. We can project he will win the state of Florida by 13.3 percentage points. This is really shown because the state of Florida has historically been such a competitive state on the presidential level, but after 2020, this state has shifted very hard towards the right, as we saw in 2022, and this has converted towards the presidential level in 2024 with many Republicans moving here, so Donald Trump will win the state by a large margin with 79% of the vote. And we can project Rick Scott, he will also win his seat. He will win his seat by a little bit of a narrow margin, but it's still about a little bit over 10.5 percentage points. This has shown Florida is no longer this competitive state that it once was, because Rick Scott has historically won by such narrow margins, but this time he has not. And these seats in Florida, we can project District 9 and 23 go towards the Democrats, while the 13th district goes towards Republicans. And the state of Ohio, another major projection for Donald Trump, 17 electoral votes. He will win this state by 10.4 percentage points with 64% of the estimated vote in. And the Senate race here is still too early to call, with Sherrod Brown leading by under 3 percentage points. Still too early to call. District 5 in Connecticut, taking a look at that. The Democrat is currently in the lead by about 9 percentage points. Keep in mind, with 53% of the vote in, still too early to call. And taking a look at the updated electoral map here, Donald Trump has 149 electoral votes, while Kamala Harris has 41 electoral votes. Kamala Harris is still leading in Texas, Georgia, and North Carolina, and is now leading in New Hampshire, while Donald Trump is leading in Michigan, Virginia, and Kansas. Taking a look at the Senate races here in the state of Texas and Ohio. The Democrats are leading there, while Republicans are currently leading in Virginia and Michigan. And taking a look at the House of Representatives, Republicans are already at 181 House seats, while Democrats are at 140. 11 seats up for re-election. Republicans have won 5 of them so far, and Democrats have won 1 of them. New Hampshire and North Carolina are still leading for the Democrats as of now. Now we have our 10 p.m. Eastern Time poll closings from parts of Idaho, Montana, Nevada, parts of Oregon, and Utah. In the state of Montana, 4 electoral votes as of now, too early to call. And a key Senate race here in Montana between John Tester and Tim Sheehy, too early to call. And the gubernatorial race here, too early to call. Take a look at House races here. The 2nd district goes towards Republicans, while the first one is too early to call. And Nevada, 6 electoral votes. This is a key battleground state to watch out for, too early to call. And the Senate race here, Jackie Rosen versus Sam Brown, too early to call. And the House of Representatives here, the 1st, 3rd, and 4th district, as of now, are too early to call, while the 2nd district easily goes towards the Republicans. And the state of Oregon, 8 electoral votes, too early to call. Taking a look at the House races in Oregon, the 1st and 3rd district goes towards the Democrats, while the 2nd district goes towards the Republicans. 4th district as of now, too early to call. And the 5th and 6th district here are too early to call. The 5th district is a key race here that we will be watching out for. In the state of Utah, 6 electoral votes, too early to call. And we can project the Senate race here. John Curtis in Utah, he will win his seat, no surprise here. And the gubernatorial race, Spencer Cox will hold on to his seat, no surprise here. Look at the House of Representatives, all 4 of these districts goes towards Republicans, no surprise here. And Idaho, we can project 4 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump, no surprise here. And Idaho, House of Representatives, both of these districts goes towards Republicans. State of Illinois, now we can project 19 electoral votes. This is a huge win for Kamala Harris. She will win this state by almost 14 percentage points, with 29% of the estimated vote in. A lot of this lead comes from the Chicago area. And the 17th district here, Eric Schwarzman, he will hold on to his seat. No surprise here. And in the state of Colorado, we can project 10 electoral votes goes towards Kamala Harris. She will win by over 14 percentage points here. The state was 74% of the estimated vote in. Look at the House races here. The 3rd district, this was a close one. But Jeff Hurd, he was able to narrowly hold on to it, while District 8 goes towards the Democrats. And we can now project the state of Iowa. 6 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump. He will win this state by about 12 percentage points, with 56% of the estimated vote in. We can now call the 1st district in Iowa. This one goes towards the Republicans, while the 3rd district as of now is looking really close, but it's still too close to call now. In the state of Kansas, we can project 6 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump. He will win this state close to 16 percentage points here, with 42% of the estimated vote here. And New Jersey, 14 electoral votes. This is major for Kamala Harris. She will win this state by about 10.7 percentage points, with 51% of the estimated vote being in. And we'll look at the Senate race. Andy Kim, he will be able to hold this for the Democrats. And And this one will be a closer race. He wins by 8.5 percentage points in the state, New Jersey. Taking a look at the House of Representatives here. District 7. This goes towards Thomas King Jr. This will be a hold for Republicans. And now we can project 28 electoral votes from New York goes towards Kamala Harris. This is a huge prize for her. She's going to win this state by a very narrow margin for New York, which is almost 13 points. Historically, this state has been way bluer on the presidential level, with Biden winning it by 22 to 23%. And now the state has gone closer, but it's still 13 percentage points, so still a major win for Kamala Harris, with 38% of the estimated vote in. And the Senate race here, this will be a hold for the Democrats here. This margin is also narrowed significantly from 2018. And if we look at some House races here, District 3, 4, 17, and 18, these are still too early to call. And if we look at District 19 and 22, these are still too early to call. And Nebraska, the regular Senate here, Deb Fischer, we can project her to win her seat. She will win by just over 10 percentage points, almost at 11, while Dan Osborne is able to narrow the margin up. It appears that Deb Fischer was able to still win her seat fairly comfortably, but it did get narrower. And Nebraska's 2nd District here, Don Bacon is currently leading against Tony Vargas, but keep in mind, still too early to call with only 43% of the vote in. And Arizona, an update here, Donald Trump is currently leading by a pretty large margin here. 11% of the vote in, still too early to call. And Carrie Lake here, she's leading by a decent margin as of now, still too early to call. If we look at the House of Representatives here, the 1st District, Republicans are currently leading, while in the 6th District, Democrats are currently leading. These are both too early to call. And look at update at Michigan, 15 electoral votes. Donald Trump is still in the lead by a large margin, 11% of the vote in, too early to call. And Mike Rogers, he's also in the lead, still too early to call. And if we look at the House of Representatives here, District 7, 8, and 10, these are still too early to call. And taking a look at Minnesota, currently Harris is leading by a very large margin here with 13% of the estimated vote in, too early to call. And the 2nd District here in Minnesota, currently Andy Craig is leading here. It's still too early to call with 26% of the estimated vote in. And New Hampshire, taking a look at the update here, Harris is now in the lead here. Too early to call. And the gubernatorial race, this one has gotten very tight here, but Craig is still leading Ayade by under a percentage point. 58% of the estimated vote in here, too early to call as of now. And looking at New Mexico, an update here, Kamala Harris has such a wide lead here, but keep in mind only 6% of the estimated vote is in. It is still too early to call. Same goes for the Senate race here, still way too early to call, while the Democrat is way ahead. And looking at the 2nd District here, currently Yvette Harrell is leading against Gabe Vasquez. This is a key race to look out for tonight, too early to call with only 14% of the vote in. And taking a look at Wisconsin, Harris is currently leading Donald Trump by a pretty wide margin, 10 electoral votes, too early to call with 19% of the estimated vote in. And looking at the Senate race here, Tammy Baldwin, she's leading by a wide margin, but still too early to call. And District 3 here, Becca Cook is leading against the Republican here. It's too early to call with 16% of the estimated vote in. And looking at the state of Georgia, an update, Donald Trump is now in the lead by a decent margin here, but keep in mind, too early to call with 68% of the vote in. And looking at the update of Maryland Senate race, 60% of the vote in. Larry Hogan is in the lead here, but it's still too early to call. And looking at North Carolina, Kamala Harris's lead has narrowed up, but she's still in the lead. It's too early to call. Taking a look here, Josh Stein is leading by a decent amount here, but it's still too early to call. And Taking a look at this very competitive district, 65% of the vote in. Don Davis' lead has shrunk, but he's still leading by a decent amount. Still too early to call. And looking at an update of Pennsylvania, Donald Trump is currently leading against Kamala Harris. But keep in mind, only 46% of the vote is in, and it's too early to call. Alright, looking at the Senate race here, too early to call, with Dave McCormick leading against Bob Casey Jr. Too early to call still. Looking at some House races here, the 17th District, we can call for Chris DeLuzio. And while 7th District, 8th, and 10th District, these are still too early to call. And looking at Texas, for the electoral votes, Donald Trump has now taken the lead in this state. Too early to call, with 59% vote in. And Ted Cruz, now he's leading against Colin Allred by 1.4 percentage points. Still too early to call. And we can now call the 15th District goes towards Republicans, and 34th District goes towards the Democrats. And the state of Virginia, with 74% of the vote in, Harris is now taking the lead here, but very narrowly. It is still too early to call. And taking a look at the Senate race here, Tim Kaine is now leading by 3.5 percentage points here. Still too early to call. And the House races, we can call the 2nd District for Jen Kiggins. She will hold on to her seat, while the 7th District is still too early to call. Taking a look at the updated electoral map, Donald Trump has 165 electoral votes, while Kamala Harris has 112 electoral votes. Taking a look at the Senate seats, Republicans are at 49 seats here, while Democrats are at 37. And 218 seats needed. Republicans are at 195, while Democrats are at 146. And Republicans have now gotten 6 gubernatorial seats, while Democrats still have 1, and New Hampshire, North Carolina are still leading for the Democrats. And now we have our 11 p.m. Eastern Time poll closing. California, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. In the state of Washington, 12 electoral votes, too early to call. And the Senate race here in Washington, too early to call. And the gubernatorial race here, this is one you can look out for, but it's still too early to call. And we look at the House of Representatives here. 1st, 2nd District goes towards Democrats, while the 4th District is going towards the Republicans. The 3rd District here is too early to call. This is a key race to look out for throughout the night. And the 5th District goes towards the Republicans, while the 6th and 7th go towards Democrats. Currently the 8th District here is still too early to call. In the 9th and 10th District, these goes towards Democrats. And the state of Oregon, taking a look at that, Harris is currently leading Trump, but only 6% of the estimated vote is in. Too early to call. Taking a look at some House races here, all of these are still too early to call. And we can project the state of California, Kamala Harris's home state, 54 electoral votes. This is a huge win for Kamala Harris, but no surprise here. But this is a huge amount of electoral votes towards her column. And the Senate race in California, Adam Schiff, he will win the seat. No surprise here. We'll look at some House races here. District 1, 2, and 4 have already been called, while the 3rd District is too early to call. And District 5, 6, 7, and 8, these have all been called as well. And then these next 4 have been called. District 13, too early to call, while the rest of these have been called. And District 17 through 20, all of these have been called. And then the 22nd District, this one is too early to call, while these other ones have been called. And District 27, another one, too early to call, while the rest of these have been called towards the Democrats. And District 29 through 32 goes towards the Democrats. And so does District 33 through 36. And looking at these have already been called. And District 41, too early to call, while the rest of these have been called. District 45 and 47, these are 2 other ones too early to call. Well, These other two have been called already, 46 and 48. And District 49, another one, too early to call. And District 50 through 52 have already been called for the Democrats. We'll definitely be taking a look at some of these House races in California, because many of these are too early to call and are very close races, which could determine the Speaker of the House of the United States. Taking a look at Arizona here, an update here, 37% of the estimated vote here. Donald Trump is currently leading still. Too early to call though. And the Senate race, Kari Lake is still holding a little lead here, but still too early to call. Taking a look at the House of Representatives here, the 1st District, Republicans are still leading there, while the 6th District, Democrats are still leading. Both of these are still too early to call. Looking at Maine, 4 electoral votes. Kamala Harris, 78% of the estimated vote in, is still leading Donald Trump. Still, this one is too early to call. And looking at the 2nd District, the House race here, this one has gotten quite close. It is too close to call. And if we look at the Senate in Maryland, Brooks has now taken the lead with 75% of the estimated vote in. This is still too early to call. And Nevada, a key battleground state with 16% of the estimated vote in, Donald Trump is currently leading. This is still too early to call. And looking at the Senate here, Samuel Brown, he also has a narrow lead here. Too early to call. And also these few House races in Nevada, still too early to call. And the state of New Hampshire with 69% of the estimated vote in. Harris is currently leading against Donald Trump, still too early to call. And now Kelly Ayotte has taken the lead against Joyce Craig. It's still a really tight race, it is too early to call. And New Mexico, 5 electoral votes. Harris's lead has shrunk, but she's still leading by a pretty wide margin. 48% of the estimated vote is in. Too early to call. And the Senate race here in New Mexico, too early to call, with the Democrats still leading. 2nd District here, Gabe Vasquez is now taking the lead. It is still too early to call. And now we can project North Carolina. Josh Stein is able to win his seat here. This will be a hold for the Democrats. Taking a look at the margin, Josh Stein will win by just over 9 percentage points. This is a huge underperformance for Mark Robinson, and Josh Stein is able to overperform other races here. As of now, looking at North Carolina with 64% of the estimated vote here. Look at the presidential race in North Carolina. Harris is leading by such a narrow margin. This is a key battleground for tonight. It is still too early to call with only 64% of the estimated vote in. Alright, looking at District 1 here. Don Davis is still in the lead with 71% of the estimated vote here. This is still too early to call. And looking at the Senate race here, Brown's lead is very narrow right now. It is too early to call. Gotta keep on looking out for this one. And Texas, taking a look at the update here, Donald Trump has a lead, 51.3% of the vote, 74% of the estimated vote in total, too early to call still. And Ted Cruz is still leading here, but this is too early to call still as of now. And now we can project Brooks, she will win this seat. This will be a hold for Democrats. She will win by a margin of almost 12 percentage points. This race has been a lot closer than other races in Maryland, but still, Larry Hogan cannot really make this race much more competitive. 84% of the estimated vote in here. This is a good win for the Democrats. Alright, state of Utah, 6 electoral votes can now project go towards Donald Trump. He will win by a large margin here, 56% of the vote in, and then Democrats only have 34.7%. There are more independent votes this year than some other years, which is mainly taken away from Democrats, but some for the Republicans. This is 28% of the estimated vote in here. And the state of Virginia, now we can call for Kamala Harris, 13 electoral votes. She will win by a margin of 3.5 percentage points. There's 89% of the estimated vote in here. And the state of Virginia, Tim Kaine, the Senate race here, he will hold on to his seat. He'll win by a larger margin of about 6 percentage points in this state. Taking a look at the 7th District in Virginia, Eugene Vindman will hold on to his seat here. This is a win for the Democrats here, an extra seat for them. And now we can project the state of Montana. 4 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump. He'll win by a large margin, almost 20 percentage points, with 32% of the estimated vote in. And we can project the gubernatorial race here. Greg Gianforte, he will win his seat here. He'll win by a margin of about close to 15 percentage points. And if we take a look at the Senate race here, John Tester is currently leading against Tim Sheehy, but with only 32% of the estimated vote here, it's still too early to call. And the 1st District in Montana, still, Ryan Zink, he is leading by 0.2 of a percentage point. It's too early to call. And Connecticut, the 5th District, 79% of the estimated vote in. Gianna Hayes is currently leading here. It's still too early to call. Taking a look at the updated map here. Trump now has 175 electoral votes, while Kamala Harris is taking the lead for the first time tonight with 179 electoral votes. Taking a look at House seats here, Democrats have 39, while Republicans are still at 49. And taking a look at House of Representatives, Republicans have now hit 203, while Democrats are at 191 seats. Alright. Now another gubernatorial race. Montana calls the Republicans to have 7 seats, and now Josh Stein winning in North Carolina gets Democrats up to 2 seats. Now we have our 12 a.m. Eastern Time poll closing in the state of Alaska and Hawaii. In the state of Alaska, 3 electoral votes. This is too early to call. And the House of Representatives race in Alaska. This is too early to call. We can project in Hawaii, 4 electoral votes goes towards Kamala Harris, no surprise here. And the Senate race here, Mays Serrano, she will win her seat, no surprise here. And both of these House races here in Hawaii goes towards the Democrats, no surprise here. And we can project the state now, Oregon, 8 electoral votes goes towards Kamala Harris. She will win this state by almost 16 percentage points with 20% of the estimated vote in. And these districts are still too early to call as of now. We can now project Washington, 12 electoral votes. This goes towards Kamala Harris. She will win by a margin of 18 percentage points. This is a large margin for her with 16% of the estimated vote in. And Washington State, Maria Cantwell, she will win her seat here. She will win by a margin of 19 percentage points. And the gubernatorial race here, Richard is currently leading against Ferguson. This will be a race to watch out for, but it's too early to call. Taking a look at these House races, District 3 is too early to call, so is District 8. In the state of Maine, we can project 3 out of the 4 electoral votes goes towards Kamala Harris. She will easily take the 1st district. And then taking a look at large, she will win this state by almost 4 percentage points, with 87% of the estimated vote in. And we can project the 2nd district of Maine. 1 electoral vote goes towards Donald Trump. He will win this district by about 9 percentage points, with 82% of the estimated vote in there. And the 2nd district on the House of Representatives, it is too close to call, with Jared Golden leading by over a percentage point, 82% of the estimated vote. And we can project New Mexico, 5 electoral votes. This goes towards Kamala Harris. She will win this state by about 9 percentage points here, with 73% of the estimated vote in. And the Senate race here goes towards Martin Henrich. He will win this by nearly 10 percentage points. And the 2nd district in New Mexico on the House level is still too early to call, with 81% of the estimated vote in. And now we can project the state of New Hampshire. This one goes towards Kamala Harris. She will win this state by about 7 percentage points. 81% of the estimated vote is in. The gubernatorial race here, Ayade is now taking a further lead here with 81% of the estimated vote in. Still too close to call. And Georgia, this race has gotten very narrow here with 88% of the estimated vote here. Donald Trump is currently leading by 0.6 of a percentage point, but keep in mind it is still too close to call. And the state of North Carolina, 16 electoral votes. Donald Trump is now taking the lead tonight. It is still too close to call with only 83% of the vote in. And the first district here, Don Davis's lead. It is very narrow now. 88% of the estimated vote in. It's too close to call. In the state of Pennsylvania, with 86% of the estimated vote in here, Harris is still leading against Donald Trump. It's her first time taking the lead tonight. It is still too close to call though. And Bob Casey is taking the lead over Dave McCormick here. Still keep in mind, too close to call. Taking a look at these House of Representatives races. District 7, this one is gotten real close. It is too close to call. While the 8th district goes towards the Democrats and the 10th district goes towards Republicans. And the state of Michigan, taking a look at that. Harris is in the lead here, but keep in mind, still too close to call. And looking at the Senate race here, it is still too close to call with Slotkin in the lead by 4.5 percentage points. And we can call District 8 for the Democrats here, while District 10 and 7 are still too close to call. Taking a look at Wisconsin here, Harris is in the lead by 0.1 of a percentage point. This is a really close race here. We'll definitely have to keep our eyes out here. 84% of the estimated vote here, this is too close to call. Looking at the Senate race here in Wisconsin, this one is too close to call with Baldwin having a wider lead than Harris is in the state. And looking at District 3 in Wisconsin, we can call this for Derek Van Orden. He will hold on to his seat here. And the state of Arizona, Harris is currently leading Trump by 2 percentage points with 74% of the estimated vote in, too close to call. And Ruben Gallego, he's leading by a decent margin here. It's wider than Harris's, but still it is too close to call. Taking a look at the House of Representatives, we can call the 6th district. This one goes towards Republicans, while the 1st district as of now is still too close to call. This is a really close race here in the 1st district in Arizona. And taking a look and update at Montana's race, Tim Sheehy has now taken the lead, but still it is too close to call with only 78% of the estimated voting. And looking at the 1st district here, we can call it for Ryan Zink. He will hold on to his seat here. And state of Nevada, Harris is now taking the lead by 1.1 percentage with 80% of the vote in, too close to call. And the Senate race in Nevada, this one, Jackie Rosen is leading by 3.3 percentage points. It is still too close to call with only 80% of the estimated vote being in. And now we can call these 3 districts in Nevada. These will go towards Democrats fairly comfortably. And now taking a look at the Ohio Senate race. Moreno's in the lead for the first time tonight, but keep in mind only 81% of the vote is in, so it's still too close to call. And we can project the state of Minnesota. This one goes towards Kamala Harris. 10 electoral votes with Tim Walz as the vice president. This will help her carry the state. She will win this state by about 4.5 percentage points, with 78% of the estimated vote being in. And then District 2 in Minnesota. This one goes towards Angie Craig. She will hold on to this seat. And taking a look at Texas, 40 electoral votes. This is a major prize for Donald Trump. He will win this state by close to 9 percentage points here, with 87% of the estimated vote being in. And also the Senate race here, Ted Cruz, he will hold on to his seat. He will win by 5.5 percentage points here. It is a narrow margin to what Trump won it by, but he's still able to hold on. And taking a look at Connecticut's 5th district, it is a 2 percentage point lead for the Democrats. It is still too early to call. And looking at this, Kamala Harris has 225 electoral votes, while Donald Trump is at 216 electoral votes. This has now come down to the 7 major swing states here that we'll be looking into, which are either shaded in light blue or light red. Currently, Trump is leading in North Carolina and Georgia, while Kamala Harris is leading in the other 5 battleground states. Taking a look at the Senate races here. Republicans are now at 50 seats, so if they win the presidency, they already have the Senate with them. But if not, they will have to win another seat. But we will see, because Montana and Ohio, Republicans are currently leading in those states, while the rest of these shaded in light blue, they are leading for the Democrats. But keep in mind, all of these are still too close to call. Taking a look at the House of Representatives here, Republicans have 207 seats and Democrats are at 199 seats. And the gubernatorial races, Kelly Ayotte in New Hampshire is now taking the lead, while Washington is a Republican lead as of now. We can now project the state of Alaska. 3 electoral votes goes towards Donald Trump. He'll win this state by about 12 percentage points here, with 56% of the estimated vote here. And then the state of Alaska for the House of Representatives. In the first round, Republicans able to lead here. But taking a look at the final round here, Peltola is able to hold on to her seat here. Taking a look at New York, the House races here. District 3 goes towards the Democrats, while District 4 is still a hole for the Republicans here. District 18 goes towards the Democrats, while District 17 is too early to call. The 19th district here is also too early to call, while the 22nd district goes towards Democrats. And California, we can now project District 3, 22, and 27 goes towards the Republicans, while the 13th district, this one is a close one for tonight. It is too close to call. And District 41 and 45 goes towards Republicans, while 47 and 49 we can project are wins for the Democrats. And state of Oregon, District 4 and 6 pretty comfortably go towards the Democrats, while the 5th district, this one, the Republican is still in the lead, but it is too close to call. Taking a look at New Mexico, we can now call Gabe Vasquez to win his seat. He will win by a margin of 0.4 percentage points, with 96% of the estimated vote in. This will be a good win for the Democrats. And we can now project the state of North Carolina, 16 electoral votes. This is a major win for Donald Trump. He will win this state by 3 percentage points here, with 91% of the estimated vote here. This is a major win for Donald Trump and his campaign. And the House of Representatives here in North Carolina, Lori Buckout, this is a major win for Republicans here. She will be able to defeat Don Davis. This is a flip for Republicans with 96% of the vote in. And Nebraska's 2nd district, Kamala Harris is projected to win here. She'll win by a margin of 6.5 percentage points with 73% of the estimated vote in. And Tony Vergas, he will defeat Don Bacon here, which is a flip for the Democrats. We have some breaking news here. We have the Senate majority of the United States. This goes towards the Republicans. This is due to Tim Sheehy, who defeated John Tester in the state of Montana. He will win this by about 7 percentage points with 84% of the estimated vote in. This is a major win for Republicans here. And in the state of Ohio, Moreno has increased his lead slightly, but still with only 86% of the estimated vote here, this is too close to call. In the state of Georgia, Donald Trump is now leading by 0.9% vote. This is really close here with 92% of the vote in. This is too close to call. In the state of Pennsylvania, we can now project Bob Casey. He will hold on to his seat. He will win by a margin of 0.8 of a percentage point. This is a lot narrower than he did in 2018. but he's still able to hold on. With 94% of the estimated vote in, we can call this for him. But the presidential level, Harris is in the lead here. This is still too close to call with 94% of the estimated vote in. This will be a major win for either candidate who wins this state. And District 7 here, with 85% of the estimated vote in, we can project Susan Wild to hold on to her seat here for Democrats. In the state of Michigan, 15 electoral votes. Harris is in the lead by under 2 percentage points. This is still too close to call. We will keep our eyes out on this one. And the Senate race here. Slotkin is leading by over 2 percentage points here. It is still too close to call. And we could call District 10 here for John James. This is both for Republicans, while the 7th District, this one is really close here with the Democrat only leading by 0.2 percentage point. This is too close to call. We will keep our eyes out for this one. Taking a look at Wisconsin, we could project Tammy Baldwin. She will hold on to her seat. She will win this seat by 1.3 percentage points with 93% of the estimated vote in. And then on the presidential level, Trump is in the lead here, but this is still too close to call. This will be a key win for either candidate who wants to win this state. And we can project the Senate race. Ruben Gallego, he's going to defeat Kari Lake here. He will win by a margin of 3.6 percentage points, with 85% of the estimated vote being in. On the presidential level, Arizona, Harris is in the lead by 0.7 of a percentage point. This is still too close to call. And looking at 1st District in Arizona, the Republican is now taking the lead here, but very narrowly is too close to call. And taking a look at Nevada, we can project Jackie Rosen. She will hold on to her seat. She will win her seat by 2.2 percentage points, defeating Samuel Brown. And on the presidential level in the state of Nevada, Donald Trump is currently leading by 0.1 of a percentage point. This is really close here. So it's too close to call, with 94% of the estimated vote in. And taking a look at the gubernatorial race, Ayade is maintaining a lead here. 86% of the estimated vote in, but this is still too close to call. Taking a look at the gubernatorial race in Washington, with 39% of the estimated vote in. Ferguson has now taken the lead, but it's still too early to call. Taking a look at these races, District 8 and District 3, both of these are still too early to call. And District 5 in Connecticut, we can officially project the Democrat will hold on to her seat here. 97% of the vote being in. Taking a look at the updated map, now Harris is increased from 225 to 226 electoral votes, with the 2nd District in Nebraska being called. These other states though, North Carolina, this helped Trump get to 235 electoral votes. Now these other states, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, Republicans are currently leading in those states, while Arizona, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, these are currently leads for Harris. Taking a look at the Senate map here, Republicans have 51 Senate seats, so they already have a majority because they flipped West Virginia and Montana, while Ohio is currently a lead for Moreno, while Michigan is a lead for Slotkin. Taking a look at House Representatives, Republicans are at 215 seats, while Democrats are at 211. This is really close here. We will see who crosses that 218. And the gubernatorial races, Yade is still in the lead in New Hampshire, while Ferguson is leading now in Washington. We can now project in the state of Washington. Bob Ferguson will now win his seat here. He'll win by a margin of about 12.5 percentage points, with 47% of the estimated vote in. And the 8th District in Washington, this one goes towards Democrats. While the 3rd District, this is a key race you gotta look out for. Too early to call. Taking a look at Ohio, Bernie Moreno, we can now project he is the winner here. This is a major win for the Republicans here, defeating incumbent Sherrod Brown. Moreno will win by a margin of 3.2 percentage points here. This is indicating that the race is not as close as what polls were showing, with 90% of the estimated vote being in, Marino is able to defeat Sherrod Brown here. Taking a look at New Hampshire, now we can project Kelly Ayotte. She will win her seat here. This is a major win for Republicans in New Hampshire. She will win her seat by almost 3 percentage points here. This will be a hold for Republicans with 89% of the estimated vote here. And in the state of Georgia, 16 electoral votes. This is a major win for Donald Trump. He will win this state. He'll win it by 2.4 percentage points with 96% of the estimated vote being in. And the state of Nevada, 6 electoral votes. This will be an apparent winner for Donald Trump. This is because he's taken the state by 0.4 percentage points, so he's known as the apparent winner. Since it's so close and 97% of the votes are in, this is a really good win for Donald Trump as well. And in the state of Michigan, we can project Alyssa Slotkin. She is the apparent winner here. She will win her seat by 0.8 of a percentage point. That is under 1 percentage point, so really close here. 93% of the estimated vote in, and she wins her seat here. And the presidential race in Michigan, Harris is still leading by 0.2 of a percentage point, but it is still too close to call. The 7th district here, we can now project a major win for Republicans. Tom Barrett will defeat Curtis Hurdle Jr. This is a flip for Republicans with 91% of the estimated vote in. And in the state of Arizona, too close to call as of now. Harris is still maintaining a 0.7% lead with 88% of the estimated vote in. And the 1st district in Arizona, we can call goes towards the Republicans here. This will be a hold for them with 95% of the estimated vote in. And now we can project in Wisconsin. The apparent winner is Donald Trump, 10 electoral votes. This is a major win for him. Taking a look, he will win this by 0.8 of a percentage point. 95% of the estimated vote in. This is a major win for Donald Trump in his campaign. And now we have some breaking news here. We can now project that the President of the United States is Donald Trump. He is re-elected non-consecutive term. He is the 2nd president in the history of America to do this after Grover Cleveland here. This is because he is the apparent winner in the state of Pennsylvania, 19 electoral votes. This is a major win for Donald Trump. He will take this state by 0.6 of a percentage point, which is a really close margin here with 97% of the estimated vote here. This is a major win for Donald Trump. Taking a look at Iowa's 3rd district, we can now give that to Zach Nunn. This will be a hold for Republicans with 96% of the estimated vote here. And now we have some more breaking news here. The Speaker of the House is going to stay Mike Johnson. This is because we can project in New York, the 17th district goes to Mike Lawler. He will hold on to his seat here. This will give Republicans 218 House seats in the House of Representatives, while the 19th district is still going towards Democrats. In the 13th district in California, Adam Gray will narrowly defeat John Duarte with 0.2 percentage victory, 97% of the estimated vote being in. And now Oregon, the 5th district, we can project as a narrow hold for Republicans here. 98% of the estimated vote here. This is a major win for Republicans here. Taking a look at the updated map here, Republicans currently have 286 electoral votes, while Kamala Harris is trailing behind with 226 electoral votes. We will see how much more Harris or Trump can win by tonight. Because in Arizona and Michigan, these 2 states that have not been called, Harris is currently still in the lead. We'll see if she wins them or not. And for the Senate, all the races here have been called, with Republicans winning 52 seats while Democrats win 48 seats. They have a majority here. And taking a look at the House of Representatives here, Republicans are already at 220 seats while Democrats are at 213. We'll see these other 2 races that are leaning blue, the Washington one and Maine 2nd. We will see how those go by the end of the night, hopefully. And For the governor's map, nothing has changed. All of these seats have held since before the election. We can now project Washington's 3rd district here goes towards Mary Glusenkamp. She will hold on to her seat here. And the 2nd district here, Jared Golden, he will narrowly hold on to his seat here. But this race has been really close, with Donald Trump winning this district by about 9 percentage points. And 97% of the estimated vote in, Jared Golden is still able to hold on narrowly. And we have a huge projection here for Donald Trump. 15 electoral votes out of the state of Michigan. He is the apparent winner here. He will win this state by 0.2 of a percentage point. He narrowly flips it back into his column after winning it in 2016 and losing it in 2020. 98% of the estimated vote coming in here, Donald Trump is the apparent winner. And also in the state of Arizona, 11 electoral votes. He is the apparent winner here, Donald Trump. He will win this state by such a narrow margin, 0.1 of a percentage point. This race, according to polls, is looked to be pretty comfortably towards Trump, but however, this race was very close here, but Donald Trump was still able to edge out a victory with 99% of the estimated vote here. Taking a look at the updated map here, Donald Trump wins with 312 electoral votes, whereas Kamala Harris is 226 electoral votes. While the popular vote winner goes to Kamala Harris, she will win by a margin of 0.6 of a percentage point. But keep in mind, the election is determined by the Electoral College rather than the popular vote. Taking a look at the House of Representatives, Republicans were able to win 220 House seats, while Democrats were able to win 215 House seats, which gives Republicans a majority in the House of Representatives, and then Mike Johnson remains the Speaker of the House. So thank you everybody for watching this election night. Make sure to comment down below, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.